Nike, are you taking notes? Because many of us are still trying to figure out what Nike is doing, or maybe it would be better to say what Nike is not doing.
Remember when Nike says, just do it? Well, Nike just did it, again. For a brand that built its empire on iconic athletes, you'd think they'd know how to handle a generational talent like Caitlin Clark. But instead of giving her the star treatment she's earned, Nike has once again sidelined her in favor of other players. Caitlin Clark isn't just the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. She's the most marketable basketball player today, period. From breaking records on the court to drawing packed arenas and skyrocketing viewership, she's proven that she's a once-in-a-generation talent. And yet, Nike's response? A glaring lack of promotion, delayed launches, and another shocking decision that has fans asking, what is Nike thinking?
Nike has Caitlin Clark at a deal, and they're not utilizing her. They're acting like too many people in the WNBA who don't get it, who want to make sure that Caitlin stays in her place and that they do things a certain way.
In this video, we're diving deep into Nike's latest disrespect to Caitlin Clark, how they've missed the mark on marketing her time and time again, and the growing frustration from fans who feel she deserves better. Along the way, we'll show how other brands are getting it right and why this strategy could cost Nike dearly. Ready to find out why everyone's talking about why Nike just can't seem to keep up? Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
In the beginning, it could have been Adidas, not Nike.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went down. What was going on in your head?
You know what? The thing is, I never wore Nike shoes until I signed a Nike contract. All through college, we wore Converse. And up to that point, my favorite shoe was an Adidas shoe.
Nike's name has long been synonymous with greatness. Michael Jordan redefined basketball, Serena Williams brought her magic to tennis, and Kobe Bryant's legacy continues to inspire millions.
Once I went through the presentation with Nike, they really made a grave effort of trying to, have my input on the shoes, design any shoes that I wanted to wear.
Nike didn't just sponsor these athletes, they made them icons. Their campaigns didn't just sell shoes, they sold stories, emotions, and dreams. And when it came to women's basketball, they made their intentions clear by partnering with stars like Lisa Leslie and Cynthia Cooper during the early stages of the WNBA, creating campaigns that showed they understood the significance of elevating the women's game.
Cynthia Cooper, guard, Houston Comets.
Yeah, hi,
Why'd you pull up 4-3 on the break last night?
Well, I was open.
Tina was open on the block.
Yeah, but
You know she's money down there. Why'd you take it? I know I wouldn't have.
because I was
My
open.
mama says because is not an answer.
Your mama's right.
Should've
but
hit Tina down low.
I promise I will next time.
Assuming there is a next time. The way I see it, you owe Tina an apology.
These weren't just promotional efforts. They were cultural moments. The swoosh became a symbol of progress, inclusivity, and athletic excellence. For decades, Nike had a knack for identifying not just talented athletes, but transformational figures who could change the game. They set the bar for how a brand could amplify an athlete's voice, weaving their personal stories into compelling narratives that resonated worldwide. Fast forward to today, and it's a completely different story. Despite having Caitlin Clark, unarguably the biggest name in basketball right now, Nike has been shockingly quiet. Fans expected bold campaigns, innovative merchandise, and an aggressive push to elevate her to the status of legends like Jordan or Bryant. Especially after the record-setting college season and WNBA freshman debut, she just posted back-to-back. Instead, a couple of lukewarm promotions, a forgettable ad celebrating her Rookie of the Year honor, and little else to suggest they even recognize her unparalleled marketability.
Nike struck absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world are they ignoring her?
How did Nike, the brand that redefined sports marketing, fumble the opportunity to turn Caitlin Clark into their next icon? Is it complacency, mismanagement, or a complete failure to see the shift in basketball culture? Whatever the reason, their current approach feels like the polar opposite of the bold, visionary marketing that once set them apart. And here's the reality. Caitlin Clark's appeal isn't just undeniable, it's transformative. The kind of player who draws viewers, sells tickets, and inspires an entire generation of fans. Any brand would consider themselves lucky to have her in their lineup. And yet, Nike seems content to keep her on the sidelines, ignoring a golden opportunity to solidify their standing in women's sports.
Nike is a business, and therefore Nike knows that Caitlin Clark equals interest, equals fans buying merchandise, equals money, okay? So like, hello, man.
The question is, why? Nike's baffling priorities don't just affect Caitlin Clark. They're a reflection of a broader problem within the company's strategy. And as we'll see next, their latest decision will leave you questioning if they've completely lost their touch. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
The amount of people that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe. Just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, you know, there is real opportunity here.
Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a phenomenon. In her rookie season alone, she smashed records, dominated highlight reels, and brought fans into arenas like no other WNBA player in years. Clark's appeal goes far beyond the court. She's not just a player who wins games, she's a cultural magnet. Her ability to connect with fans is unmatched, and it shows. It's not just her skill, though. It's her charisma, humility, and willingness to embrace the responsibility of being a role model.
The more people can get out and watch the W or watch the college game or whatever it is, the better it's going to be for the future of the game.
Fans and brands alike have taken notice. From corporate sponsorships to grassroots admiration, everyone sees the value Caitlin Clark brings, except, it seems, Nike. She's become a household name, drawing more attention to women's basketball than any player in recent memory. She's even outdrawing the NBA this year. Her influence doesn't stop at basketball either. Whether it's her participation in celebrity golf tournaments or her role in soccer ownership bids, Caitlin has proven she's a multi-dimensional figure with crossover appeal. Wherever Caitlin goes, people follow in awe.
It's in the car, actually.
Ouch. Sorry about that. Thanks. Okay. Thank you.
Yay!
Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just the face of the WNBA. She's an untapped marketing goldmine. Any brand would salivate to have her. And yet Nike, the one brand that has her, seems content to let her potential slip through their fingers. But the story doesn't end here. In fact, Nike's latest decision only adds to the frustration, and it's one you'll have to hear to believe. Enter Paige Bueckers. A phenomenal athlete in her own right, Paige has already made a name for herself in college basketball. In a bizarre twist of events, Nike has announced the release of a signature shoe for Paige before Caitlin Clark. Let that sink in. The biggest name in professional basketball, someone who has already drawn comparisons to Michael Jordan for her ability to fill seats and generate buzz in the women's game, has been sidelined for a player who hasn't even entered the league yet. This isn't just a slight misstep. It's a full-blown fumble. Caitlin Clark is the kind of athlete who doesn't come along often.
They've completely fumbled Caitlin Clark in general. Like, when you get a generational athlete, you normally try to, build around said generational athlete.
She has shattered records, drawn sellout crowds, and brought new fans to the WNBA in droves. Yet Nike's response to her groundbreaking year has been painfully underwhelming. Fans are furious, and it's not hard to see why. Caitlin has done more for women's basketball in 1 year than most athletes do in a lifetime. From her record-breaking rookie season to her ability to single-handedly draw in new viewers, her impact is undeniable. And yet, Nike's decision to launch Paige's shoe first feels like a slap in the face, not just to Caitlin, but to her fans. It sends a message that even the league's most marketable star can be pushed aside for no apparent reason.
Why is the college player getting a collection before the most popular player in the world? Like, I understand. Cool, Paige Bueckers, this is a very cool shirt. It says buckets. I understand. But you've now got, all talking about Paige Bueckers, college basketball player. She's there being used to promote stuff, and the Paige Beckers collection is going to be there very, very soon.
This isn't just about shoes, it's about priorities. Nike has shown, time and again, that they're willing to bet on certain athletes while ignoring the ones who are already proving themselves, and the timing couldn't be worse. With Caitlin Clark at the peak of her popularity, this delay sends the wrong message, that even the most marketable player in the world isn't a priority. Meanwhile, fans are left wondering if Nike even understands the momentum Caitlin is creating for women's basketball.
Every day you look at it and you're like, this is a bigger fumble. Because, like, you've got a gold mine. You've got an absolute gold mine in Caitlin Clark. And this is a company that's losing money.
Paige isn't to blame here. She's an incredible talent herself who deserves her own spotlight. But Nike's decision to push her shoe ahead of Clark's has left fans scratching their heads. Why is a college athlete being fast-tracked over someone who's already dominating the professional stage? It's a decision that speaks volumes about where Nike's focus lies and how out of touch they are with the demands of their audience.
Caitlin could have gone anywhere and been the face. Like we're seeing with Angel Reese with Reebok. Like, Angel Reese is an entire collection of clothes. Like what Reebok have done with Angel Reese. And the fact is Caitlin's tied down for 8 years.
The fallout has been swift and loud. Social media has erupted with backlash, with fans calling out Nike for what they see as a massive oversight. Hashtags demanding justice for Caitlin Clark have gained traction, and fans are openly questioning whether Nike understands what their audience wants. But while Nike fumbles, other brands are stepping in to fill the void, and one in particular is showing them exactly how it's done.
Shoot. Okay, I'll shoot.
What's happening?
But I don't see any hoop.
No, I said that because of, I'm sorry, shoot.
On cue.
They don't have one.
Stop saying this.
I didn't know.
My acting skills are fire.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry.
Can you say the jingle for us right now?
No.
While Nike fumbles the bag with Caitlin Clark, another brand is proving that marketing her is not only easy, but incredibly effective. Enter State Farm. Their recent campaign featuring Caitlin Clark has been a runaway success, and it's no surprise why. They've done what Nike refuses to: capitalize on Caitlin's immense popularity in a way that resonates with fans.
I could have sworn it was open.
Rookie move.
I was a rookie once.
Caitlin Clark.
Aren't you Rookie of the Year?
That was last year. Ancient history. The stories that I could tell you. Here, pull up a chair.
Okay, I meant this rookie driver made that rookie move.
The commercial is simple, lighthearted, and fun. It pairs Caitlin with recognizable figures like ESPN's Cassidy Hubbarth and Jake from State Farm, placing her in relatable scenarios while still showcasing her competitive spirit and personality. One moment, she's swinging a golf club. The next, she's zipping off to a basketball game like a superhero. It's clever, entertaining, and, most importantly, true to Caitlin's persona.
Whoa. Dude, you need someone with more experience. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, State Farm's here to help, no matter how long you've been in the game.
Game? Oh, man.
Rookie move.
Fans loved it. Social media was abuzz with praise for the ad, with many pointing out how State Farm managed to highlight Caitlin's talent and charm while seamlessly promoting their services. The commercial wasn't just about basketball. It was about storytelling, relatability, and making Caitlin the hero of the narrative. State Farm showed they understood their audience and Caitlin's appeal better than Nike seems to. State Farm's campaign isn't just about selling insurance. It's about building a connection with fans, celebrating the athletes they love, and showing that they're paying attention to what matters. In contrast, Nike's strategy, or lack thereof, feels tone-deaf, disconnected from the energy and excitement Caitlin is generating for women's basketball. This isn't the first time a smaller brand has outshone a giant like Nike. It's a classic underdog story. One company gets it right, while the other struggles to keep up. But what makes this particularly frustrating is how obvious the opportunity is. State Farm's success with Caitlin is proof that all it takes is a little effort, creativity, and willingness to embrace what fans already know. Caitlin Clark is a star. The question is, why can't Nike do the same? Why are they so hesitant to give Caitlin the platform she deserves?
Come on, Andy, you know the question for that. You know the answer for that.
Nike's recent decisions don't just feel frustrating, they're downright baffling. Instead of riding the wave of Caitlin Clark's soaring popularity, they've chosen to prioritize athletes who simply aren't delivering the same cultural or marketable impact. And nowhere is this more evident than with A'ja Wilson.
Obviously, word on the street, as they say, is that They wanted to take care of Asia Wilson first.
Asia Wilson has been a centerpiece of Nike's women's basketball campaigns for years. From exclusive promotions to highly publicized MVP-centric branding, Nike has placed all their chips on Wilson's table. But here's the problem. While Wilson has racked up impressive on-court accolades, her marketability hasn't come close to matching her trophy count. Her campaigns feel flat, failing to resonate with the fan base in the same way Caitlin Clark's every move has captivated audiences. Let's not sugarcoat it. Asia's name doesn't fill arenas. Her impact doesn't generate record-breaking viewership. And despite Nike's constant attempts to spotlight her, she's simply not the player carrying the sport forward in the eyes of the fans. Nike's loyalty to Asia isn't just a misplaced bet. It's actively holding them back from fully embracing the future of women's basketball.
They have decided to put all their eggs in the Asia and Friends basket. They put all eggs in the UConn basket.
It's a decision that reeks of stubbornness, not strategy. Social media is ablaze with frustration. Fans are tired of watching Nike push the wrong narrative, while Caitlin Clark continues to outperform and outshine without the support she deserves. The hashtags and backlash aren't just noise, they're a clear message. The fans want Caitlin front and center. The real question is, how much longer can Nike afford to fumble this opportunity? Their priorities are misaligned, their messaging is tone-deaf, and their brand is at risk of falling behind. The clock is ticking, and unless Nike makes a bold move, this could be the misstep that defines their women's basketball strategy for years to come.
Fortunately, they signed the woman to build a brand around. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Caitlin Clark. Instead, in the early Clark era, Nike stock has tanked over the span, and the CEO just got ousted. By the way, though Clark got famous around 22, if you want to buy her shoe, you could be waiting until 2026 or 2027.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a rising star. She's a revolution in the making. Her talent, charisma, and ability to bring people into the sport are reshaping women's basketball before our eyes. Yet Nike's continued hesitation to back her fully risks turning one of the greatest opportunities in sports marketing into their biggest regret. The signs are clear. Fans are calling for change. They're demanding more representation for the athletes they admire, and Caitlin Clark is at the top of that list. She's the kind of player who doesn't just draw crowds. She creates lifelong fans, and as other brands step up their game, Nike can't afford to stay in neutral. This is bigger than a shoe deal. It's about the future of women's basketball and the chance to build something that will last. Caitlin Clark represents everything the WNBA needs to keep growing: excitement, new audiences, and a fresh story that fans can rally around. But for that to happen, Nike has to stop playing it safe. They need to recognize that Caitlin isn't just another athlete, she's a movement. So what's it going to be? Will Nike finally step up and lead, or will they let another brand take the spotlight? The clock is ticking, and the next move could define not just Caitlin Clark's legacy, but Nike's standing in women's sports for years to come. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.